So yeah, here's the question. It's what would you say to the man who says, "Hey, I'm just substituting what I can't get. My wife doesn't have as high of a sexual libido as I do, and my desire for her doesn't decrease, so I'm supplementing. So I'm not a bother to her." Well, what would be like what's the what's how would you respond to that? And so I would say that, that sounds reasonable on the surface. It even feels honorable. But because you're not trying to pressure her, you're trying to handle your needs on your own. But what you're calling supplementation is in truth substitution, and it's doing far more than just taking the edge off. So let's break down what's actually happening both biologically and relationally, right? Number one, you're not meeting a need, you're rewiring it. And so every time you masturbate to porn, you're rewarding isolation over connection. You're teaching your body that dopamine is safer alone. You're reinforcing solo arousal patterns that bypass emotional intimacy. And here's the kicker: even if you feel like your desire for her isn't fading, your arousal template is changing in your neural system. Your brain is forming associative patterns around fast novelty, control, and zero vulnerability. That doesn't just stay in the bathroom or the bedroom. It bleeds into your bed, your conversations, your patience, right? You're protecting her from something she doesn't know you're building resentment about. So when men take care of it themselves because their wife isn't responsive or doesn't match their libido, they often think that they're being respectful. But what actually builds is a quiet bitterness, low level rejection sensitivity, subtle energetic pullback from the relationship. Over time, you stop bringing your desire to her. You stop risking. You may still love her, but you're no longer offering her the vulnerability of your longing. That's not neutral. It's emotional withdrawal masked as responsibility. And it's not. You're avoiding the very growth that could actually ignite that intimacy that you say that you crave. So, sexual mismatch isn't a problem, it's an invitation. When a woman's libido is lower, that's not a reason to disconnect. It's a cue to learn about her nervous system, understand the root of her shutdown or stress, build attunement rather than bypass it. But porn short circuits that process. It says, why lean in and become the kind of man who awakens her body when I can get what I want without the work? So, we can have this illusion that we're taking responsibility, but it's really just another form of laziness. The dopamine shortcut steals your motivation to become more emotionally connected, physically present, and energetically attuned. It makes you satisfied with less while thinking you're doing the mature thing. So studies show that supplementing excuse it doesn't hold up. Men who use porn even while in a relationship show lower emotional intimacy, more performance anxiety, weaker erections with real partners, and a pattern of discrepant sexual desire that gets worse the longer porn is used as a stand-in. So you're handling it in a way that avoids the deeper work. You're not a bother to her. You're a man with real desire. That's beautiful. But when you consistently self soothe instead of self reveal, you're choosing comfort over connection. You're choosing control over curiosity. And the relationship starves quietly while dopamine gives you the illusion of peace because you've taken care of your needs. You've reset your neural system, right? And the hard truth is what you're calling noble is often just numb. And what you think is protecting her is actually disconnecting you. So let's build a life where your sexual energy fuels intimacy, creativity, and discipline, not self isolation in the shadows of what she doesn't know.